card tarot reading. I got some really interesting cards this time around, and I just want to share, by the way, if you're new to pulling cards, like, there's no rhyme or reason. You can shuffle any which way, you can pull any which way. It's very intuitive in that way. Now, yeah, there are certain grids and certain ways that you can lay out the cards for certain intentions, but when you're just doing a 3-card pull, shuffle and pull. Do whatever feels right. For this fiery, messy Leo moon, I pretty much did one of these, and like a card popped out, and I was like, ooh, there's one. And then intuitively, it was like, ooh, now shuffle this way. So I'll shuffle this way spontaneously, and a card popped out. I was like, ooh, there's another one, right? So you can do readings in a lot of different ways. But despite all the shuffling and the random spontaneity of this reading, I want to show you all 3 cards at once because it's so interesting. Look at all that female energy. Look at it. Anyway, let's talk about the first card. So for the past card, I pulled the Empress. One of my faves, symbolized by the number 3 and Venus. So this is a very Venus-ruled card. And Venus has been heavily playing in to the energy of the cosmos over the past few months and really will continue throughout most of this year. So right now, Venus just moved into Pisces not too long ago, maybe about a week or two ago. And we move into Pisces season soon. You know, the moon and Venus are both very closely related in the same signs right now. Their cycles are matching up right now. Venus energy is all about embracing your self-worth. Look at this Empress. She's very casual on her throne. She's hanging out. She's underneath her fruitful apple tree. She's got her shield in hand. She's got her magic in the other hand, her perfume. She's protective of her energy, but she's also patient, okay? She's waiting for the apples to fall. She's not picking them before they are ready, okay? And she's just protecting her energy, and she's just casually waiting for the magic to happen along the way. And this is kind of where we are in our manifestation journey right now. You know, we just started the lunar cycle of Aquarius back on the 21st. We also have the new year, right? 2023. It's a new year. So somewhere between the beginning of the year and now, you have probably set some sort of intentions. You've planted some sort of seeds for this next year or this next lunar year. You have an idea of where you want to go from here or where you want to see yourself a year from now or in your future. So you've planted the seeds are growing, you're taking action, you're patiently waiting, you're tending to your energy, you're setting your boundaries, you're doing your thing, and it's going to come. It's going to happen. The Empress tells us, stay in your practices, keep taking action, keep remaining faithful, stay positive, and everything is going to happen just the way you need it to. A lot of times when we pull the Empress, it represents fertility. It represents the actual sign of a fertile womb or a fertile sacral chakra or the ability to manifest whatever we're trying to bring forth into this world. So be patient. The seeds have been planted. They are growing. I promise whatever you are working on will come to fruit and harvest if you continue to patiently wait and do the work that you need to do. All right, let's go on to our present card. Justice. Let justice be served. So this is an interesting card to pull right now because we are in a very calm moment in the cosmos, okay? It's been a wild ride. Even at the beginning of January, we still had 3 planets in retrograde. We had Mars, Mercury, and Uranus all in retrograde at the beginning of the year. It wasn't the best time to be taking action and moving forward. Also, we have wrapped up a karmic season, okay? An eclipse season. The Taurus Scorpio eclipse season just ended this past fall, and over this next spring, as we move into Aries season, we are going to move into a new 18-month Aries Libra eclipse series. So right now, we're in between it all. And guess what happens when you're in between the eclipse seasons, especially series like this? Karma. Karma starts to play out, okay? So everything that you have worked on in the past 2 years is starting to play out now. All of the karma from the decisions you made, the choices that you made, the crossroads you chose, all of that is coming around now. Now, also, this card is coming up with the full moon to say, hey, it's time to find more balance. This card is ruled by Libra. It's telling you to find fairness in your own life, in your own energetic exchanges, and make sure that you're setting boundaries around the ones that aren't bringing that balance, that aren't bringing peace. You know, look at her. She's got a sword in hand with the scales. That's because she is cutting ties and setting boundaries in order to find more peace, in order to maintain more peace. So again, we are in the energy of a full moon. A full moon brings in solar fire energy for release and transformation. Justice comes in right now and says, hey, slow down, take a good look at everything, and make sure that you are finding more balance on the other side of this lunar cycle, that you take these next 2 weeks to set the boundaries and cut the ties that you need to feel like you're living more out of your heart. Finally, we have Judgment. And it's 20 on the card, which I think is interesting because 2020, that's why I got tongue-tied. 2020 was kind of just on the cusp of this beginning of this eclipse series. Okay. So we are still wrapping up everything from the past 2 to 3 years since 2020. We are still processing 2020. Even though it's 2023, we're still processing the past few years. And with that, there might be a lot of judgment that comes about. Judgment of others and their choices, judgment of our own choices, judgment of how we behaved over the past few years, judgment around the expectations that we didn't meet. Lots of judgments can come up right now. We also tend to go through a lot of judgments around the first of the year because we reflect back on what we did not achieve for some reason because the ego likes to be a victim. Okay. So if you are feeling that energy, if you're feeling a little judgment right now on yourself, most of all, you've got to give yourself grace. This is that medicine we talked about with Ashlesha Nakshatra. Loving the previous versions of yourself for who they are, who they were, and what they knew, and being grateful for the person that you are now, no longer that dummy dumb making the dummy dumb decisions that you're judging, right? Good gosh, I have made some dummy dumb decisions in my life. I have done some things in my younger years that I am still not bold enough to talk about out loud. As much as I share with y'all about my life and everything else as transparent as I am, there are still a few things that I'm a little embarrassed about. So embarrassed that I can't get them out yet. Maybe it'll come once I get into my 40s. I don't know. I'm not there yet. But point being is we all have those moments where we didn't know. We didn't know any better. We weren't educated. We weren't mature enough. We didn't have the right support system. You know, whatever it may be. It was our programming, whatever it may be. But in the future, we come up and we go, that was a different version of ourselves. I am not that person anymore. And that's okay. That person made that decision. I learned from it. I won't make it again. I won't be that person anymore. Let's think about the snake. It sheds its skin as it grows, okay? We humans wear different skins throughout our lifetime, different masks, different costumes, different ways we express ourselves, okay? So let that skin that you once wore, it was shed, let it be shed for good. Don't let it continue to be attached to you now because it can't be. It's not who you are anymore. This is really how you heal. When you learn to let go of judgments on yourself, you heal. And even these things that I don't want to talk about out loud, the behaviors that I've that I've emitted as a very immature, blissfully ignorant person, I still don't judge myself for those things anymore. I go, you know what, that was a different version of myself. I'm not that person anymore. It is what it is, right? But I still worry a little bit about the judgment of others because I'm human and I'm working through it. And also, I'm a Libra, which is the sign of the judge. So I always think people are judging me. And it's just the way it is. So it's my journey.